Why? Is it because this is the bedrock of our society? Man, this is gonna be fun.
The worst.
I'm so excited. Oh man, maybe the National Prayer Breakfast should be illegal.
You know what? It should. It absolutely should. But the more we watch this, the more that I'm just like, why did they even bother interviewing these people? Because all they're doing is just jerking themselves off and just saying, oh, well, we didn't do anything. We're just here to fucking pray. Like, what's the point that even having these people in this thing?
Well, I'm actually kind of glad they're there. I'm actually kind of glad that they have actual fellowship members, even though a lot of them think they're more important than they actually are.
Yeah.
And they're not like actual big fish, and no fish get caught to begin with.
Right.
I'm glad that they are there. One, to make this documentary appear to be like it could be on, like if you're watching it as a fellowship member, like, oh well, it looks like they have a lot on us, but you know, like it looks unbiased, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It appears unbiased.
Okay.
While also largely condemning what these men are doing. And you get to hear from the mouth of the goddamn horse, all these fucking shitty ass horses covered in dog turds, exactly what their rhetoric sounds like. So then people like us, dumb idiots like us, can be like, hey, this is what liars and thieves sound like nowadays. Like this is the enemy. Like this is not to sound all like, you know, fucking revolutionary or dramatic, but you want to know when you're living in times like these, when everything feels like it's like literally ending the world, you want to know who to blame, like who did it, who started it, where it began, and
right.
It's these fucking schmoes. Like, so I am glad on the show. Yeah, they skirt around everything and they don't get in trouble. And they're like, well, we just prayed and we just believed in Jesus and we just talked about Jesus and Jesus and Jesus and Jesus and Jesus and Jesus and Jesus.
I just had a stroke.
But that's what they sound like. That's what.
Yeah.
And it's not honesty, but it is honest in the sense that this is how they want to have themselves portrayed.
Right.
Also, no one's chosen. No one's better than anybody else.
Yeah,
we're all made of the exact same thing. My fucking I like to quote one of my teachers from high school about this one. She said we're all made of chemicals and electric, and that's all we are.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. I don't think these people have any. No, because that's actually negating what I just said. We're all chemicals and electric. We're all just made water.
We're all equal.
Water meat bags walking around.
No, seriously. There's literally nothing. There's nothing about your core makeup that makes you better than anybody else.
Nope, we're all the exact same.
You can develop skills that differentiate you. You can be better at a skill than somebody else. You can have a vision that's different than somebody else, but nothing about you makes you better than anybody else.
No, it's not possible.
No.
Look at all those prayer groups.
Let's say you live specifically in Greensboro, North Carolina. Let's say that you know a man named Tim Schaefer. Let's say that Tim Schaefer lives next door to you at 235 Eastboro Court in a house that is gray and beige, and you go to his... That man got weirdly specific.
He did get he was stuck on Greensboro.
He was.
It felt weird each time he said it. Because it's not even like one of those towns that's like Memphis is not the biggest city in
but it's also somewhat well known.
It's very well known.
Yeah.
It's got Graceland there.
Yeah.
Or if I say someplace like Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah.
Not the biggest city, but you know about
San Luis Obispo in California.
I don't know what.
Okay. I wasn't sure. San Luis Obispo?
Maybe it's popular on the West Coast, but
I think
I'm
so.
not. It could be.
I don't know.
Like Rochester, New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're like that's famous on the East Coast for whatever reason, but people know about it.
It's just it's a weird. For some reason, the word Rochester is like in the cultural lexicon. Mm-hmm. It's very weird. It's actually kind of like Hollister, because I know that's a brand, but Hollister is actually a shithole.
Hollister,
California.
Oh, it's a place.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's awful.
Shit.
It's just fields and sad cows. It's not good.
Was it ever nice?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Okay.
Well, I'm talking a lot of shit. It's just farmland. Like Hollister, the company was made out to be like this big, like this like beachy, fucking gorgeous Aryan people wear our products. And you go to Hollister, California, and it's just like, that's a cow. That's sadness right there. That's cool. That's empty fields. Dope. I don't know.
So just all of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, which is what people say about a place is when there's nothing to do there. Oklahoma, it's so beautiful there. It's just
Oklahoma's dog shit, man. I almost crashed a tour van there.
Gorgeous.
Fuck
it's
that
just
place.
The most beautiful
it's the
place.
flattest, most nondescript. I was so tired. I was high, and I couldn't figure out where the sky and the floor met and finished and
it's
switched.
Called the ground when it's outside.
Whatever, man. Okay. Fuck you.
Also, if you name your child Eric, spelled Ayric.
Oh God, die.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
I am creeped out by how much that guy that looks like an earthworm is turned on by the idea of fucking another woman. Is how he sounded.
And I fucking hate that Denzel looking motherfucker. The fat Denzel who sounds like a less suave James Earl Jones. I'm going to get real mad at him. You're asking vague questions.
Yep.
While also acting like you have power over him.
Yeah.
And there it is.
God.
This is why I hate this group. White dude asking another white dude why your crew is all white. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. That's not your fucking place. That's not your fucking place. You don't get to do that. As an old white man asking a younger white man, well, why's your crew all white? Like, that is you pretending not to be a racist asshole. That is you using your black friends to make you feel better than everybody else because you're just using black people for an excuse to like, look, I'm not racist. Look at all these black people I hang out with every week. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Please look at them so people can see that I'm not racist. There's physical evidence. I'm surrounded by black people. And I don't hate any of these Negroes, black people. Any of these color folk black people. I don't hate them. I don't hate them at all. And then they criticize him for him being defensive. They are attacking him. He's gonna be defensive. And then fucking fat Denzel's gonna sit over there being like, oh, well, you see, the thing here is that I'm a black man. I'll see things differently. Motherfucker, you ain't shit. You're a fucking asshole who's using your color and your faith to attack other people. See? He's just said, I work them over and they're confronted with themselves and they don't like what they see. There is a lot of wrong that any one person has done in their life.
Yeah.
And if you, as a black man, you have to have the self-awareness. I have it all the time and it drives me crazy that at any moment, I'm only half black, but a lot of people think I'm white. They just like see how light-skinned I am and they go, oh, he's a white kid. And that's why they ask me how I get my hair like this because they don't understand. And then I say, oh, I have a black dad. Like that's what I say in conversation as they go, black father, just to shut it down so they understand. Because I tell them like I've tried it a million times. Where it's like, how do you get your hair like that? Oh, well, I'm black. And they go, yeah, but how do you do it? That doesn't mean anything to them. They don't believe me, first of all. And now he's yelling at white people outside. Fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you.
That kind of...
Such an asshole. This is exactly why they think we're aggressive and angry. This is exactly why.
But because I legitimately need to stop you for 1 second because this is something I thought about. This is entirely out of context. Like, for all the times that I, as a hardcore atheist, shitting on religion 24/7 nonstop, I will never stop. It's a awful thing that damages people.
Yeah.
I'm accused of taking things out of context, and then that's part of the reason we do this show is because I want things in context to show how ridiculous it is even there. we don't even know why that happened.
No, not at all.
He just, out of context, they show this guy who's being kind of made out to be the villain, but also kind of not, but kind of is, but kind of.
I was very confused by how he was being viewed. Like, it took me a couple days to actually process how I felt about him, because a lot of things they said when they put it in a specific light where I agreed with him.
Yeah,
but then he finished his sentence, and I was like, "Oh,
yes!"
Oh,
every sentence starts out so good.
Oh, dude.
Every one of them,
every time,
and then you get sucked in. But I don't know, like. He seems like the kind of guy who would own the fact that he is physically larger than people.
Yeah.
And if he has good friends, he would fuck around like that. Like, he would make jokes about how he would kick people's ass, not because he would, but because he could.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that him screaming out of context, like, I don't know if that was a buddy of his.
I have no
and
idea.
like, you saw it, like, and they were just like, oh, do you, like, maybe that guy knocked on the window because he saw cameras in his friend's business.
Yeah.
And was like, what's up? And they were like, oh, this will be funny if we get you, like, shit talking somebody.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that is out of context.
It drives me insane.
But the context they put it in, the context I was given,
Yes.
I take that as, man, this is exactly why people are afraid of us, because you do dumb shit like that. And it's like, yeah, like, that's not his fault that white people already are afraid of black men, just typically. But, man, if you really want the world to be a better place and you want black people on equal footing, have some fucking self-awareness, you piece of shit. Especially when you're yelling at somebody else to have self-awareness, being like, hey, man, like, you ain't got no niggas on your crew. Like, you know, no black people on your crew. So, like, when you do that, what do I see? You know, what do I see? I see you as a racist. And you know what, man? I'm being easy on you because you got the cameras. If you weren't here, if those cameras weren't here, man, I'd work you over. I'd tell
But that's not even fair, because he didn't even start it. The fucking old-ass fucking...
Yeah. And that's exactly why that old-ass white dude did it.
Yeah.
It's because he wouldn't need to follow through. He knew that his black friends would have his back and be the aggressive ones, and he wouldn't actually have to have any sort of responsibility on himself. He's a coward. He's a coward and a liar.
He's a gigantic piece of shit. I'm equally as mad at the people that made this movie, though.
This is where it starts to get cloudy.
Because...
in this episode...
Well, yeah, because you may not like the answer, but there is an answer if you're willing. Like... They set it up to make it seem like the filmmaker was being dishonest and be like, oh, well, I don't really know why there are no black people on my crew. Why are there no black people on your crew? The answer to that question, if you are actually a racist to the level that you will not hire people of a certain skin color.
Yeah.
Barring that.
Yeah.
The answer to that question is, oh, these were the best people for the job. I'm sorry, did you have more questions?
And I think... That could be a good answer. I think saying, hey, these are my buddies, I worked them on past projects, could also be an answer. I think, well, honestly, the industrialized or institutionalized, that's the word, institutionalized racism has less black men coming out for jobs like this.
Of course.
And that all of these are great answers.
Right.
Like, they're like, even if they were, like, they could be the best men.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've heard that as an excuse in my life, so it's like hard for me to believe that.
That's fair.
But, man, this is just surreal. He's at the National Prayer Breakfast talking about his old goddamn
jerking himself
TV
off.
show.
Managed to aggressively threaten somebody, call them a piece of shit, and then also mock religion in the same sentence. I'm impressed.
Brilliant.
I'm impressed. I hate the man. I would pay to see him skull fucked to death by...
That sounds gross.
Yeah, no, I would pay for it.
Yeah, why?
I would pay.
That sounds so bad.
Because he is the ultimate public figure of the thing that I hate.
Yeah,
at this moment.
He definitely is, but I don't want to watch anyone get skull fucked to death.
Oh.
That just sounds so gross.
2 Corinthians. I'm actually... Do you have your phone on you?
I do.
Will you look up 2 Corinthians 3:17? Or I can do it and tell you about it so we can have the show be the same as it's been since the beginning?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay.
Hold on, wait. Gotta make sure there's no porno in here.
Okay, that's fair. Nice porn.
Thanks, man. I really take a lot of time. I almost went straight to incognito mode just out of fucking... just like immediately. All right.
Okay.
Ah, man, I watch too much porn. Nah, I don't. Porn's great. Man, he's such an idiot. But god damn it.
I know.
He made it there.
317?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom.
Oh, it's so vague. You could attribute that to anything.
Freedom.
America.
Rock, flag, and eagle, am I right?
Rock, flag, and eagle.
That was... It's weird that he was jerking that verse off that hard in that clip. Is that the one you like?
Is that the one you like?
fucking
Is that the one?
monsters?
Is that it? Because I loved it. I loved it, I'm America.
I mean, I guess freedom? Is that what it is? He's just jerking off the concept. It's so weird.
It is.
So weird. Have you watched the Trump documentary on Netflix?
Nope.
It's like 5 parts.
Ooh, no. I can't. Seeing this much of his face makes me...
I mean, I understand, but honestly, it's so fascinating to watch. Like, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I always thought he was a gigantic piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have any information to back that up. So before he was president, God, those words came out of my mouth and that's upsetting. Before that happens, I would be working and I would be talking to people and like having legitimate conversations, but they would be supporters and I would be against it. And they would say, well, you know, like he's a good business person. That's why I think that it's a good idea to have him. And my response would be, well, no, he's actually in a tremendous amount of debt and he's not a very good business person.
Also, let's not treat a country where people live the same as a business.
No, I agree with that.
Right.
I agree with that. But like that would be my response. They would say, well, they would just say, well, I don't believe that or that's not true. And I couldn't like really.
You can't
back
argue
up.
with that.
But that documentary actually breaks down like how bad he actually is. And it's really interesting to have points of reference of like, oh, well, he did this thing, but the only reason he did it was because he could fuck over the government and he knew he wouldn't actually have to pay the loan back. And this is how he made sure that it was the case that he wouldn't have to. And this is why it worked. It's genuinely fascinating.
Well.
And it's upsetting because he's a gigantic piece of shit, but it's also...
You want to know how.
Yeah.
How he's a gigantic piece of shit. That makes sense.
Oh, sad sack McShitface.
See, this is why I feel bad for him. Is because, like, this is... I think this is Christianity at its best, unfortunately.
You're right.
A person who understands what it really is and then is understanding that the way the family is using Christianity is the absolute wrong way to do it. However, he still does praise some of these men like Doug Coe, and his life got completely fucked over by it, and he can't divorce the people from the ideology.
At the most core level, here's my issue with it, and it's a me thing. It's not... I am angry at people that disavow this group but still believe in a God that's letting it happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you believe in an all-powerful God, but he's letting this much evil permeate the world? Like,
and using his exact message and his direct son.
What the fuck is wrong with your God?
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. That's actually a really good, really interesting thought.
So that I think that's what makes me aggressive towards that guy.
So, yeah.
You know?
Because you hate Doug Hampton.
I do.
Poor, sweet, dumb Doug. Just the sweetest, dumbest boy alive.
Oh,
he got cuckolded out of a job.
And I think I think the reason I'm so irritated is because he's still singing the praises of a God that he believes is like doing the right thing.
So yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So even though he's praising Jesus' name because he still believes in Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ's message, Jesus Christ has still allowed these bad men to take his message, corrupt it, and then gain unimaginable wealth and power from it.
Right.
So how is that okay? How is that makes sense. I don't know how to argue with that. that makes a whole lot of sense. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a much more specific and intellectual argument than the baby cancer argument that we've done a couple times.
Right, yeah.
But it's still, you can't really argue with the baby cancer argument.
You cannot.
It's, the only argument is that every single baby who has cancer was going to become a serial killer. That's the only argument, and that's not fact. So.
It's not fact, and it's also like even people that believe in all this shit don't believe that. They're just like, well, no, like maybe they were just like, the world's too bad for this baby to live in, or fucking these people needed to learn human. Like there's always a way to twist it. There's always a way to fuck it up.
Like this with the God using imperfect vessels.
Yeah.
It's like no one. Then nobody is a perfect vessel.
But that's the whole point too.
If you're a Christian, there was one perfect vessel, and he died 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So I could be president.
Yeah.
And do a better job than this.
Yeah.
I would
100%.
kill myself after 2 years because that job sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But I'd be a better president.
What's
Man,
impressive?
I want to listen to her talk, and I want him gone because
I don't like his smile. His smile just seems very pandering.
oh man, they use a hot picture in the newspaper.
That's a different wife.
I know, but she's still hot.
Well, she was
It's
hot for the time that she
distracting.
was in his life.
Yeah, I mean,
She was a model.
That's what he does. Is that he dates hot people, and then they get sad by his awful behavior, and they're probably not great people to begin with. That they marry him. So
Yeah. I need to say something. Actually, he's a horrifically manipulative person, and most of them are either underage or close to it and don't know what they're doing, and that's how he gets a hold of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's very.
It's very bad. In all seriousness, I hate Trump. I would pay to watch him get skull fucked to death.
Again, don't need to. It's gross.
We cannot impeach him.
No, because then Mikey P would come up and get the pray away gay.
Yeah.
Pray the gay away.
We actually just need to vote him out.
Gay the praise away. Gay the pray away, okay?
Yeah.
How about we gay the pray away?
Gay the pray away.
Let's get
Hashtag gay the pray
Let's get
away.
enough gays in here that we don't have to
Yes.
pray anymore. I'm
God
tired.
damn, I love that.
I would much rather hang out with a bunch of drag queens at Saturday night than go hang out with the Lord on Sunday morning, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Gay the pray away. God damn it.
God, that was good.
Thank you.
If that's not a thing, we need to make it a thing.
Can it be a thing? Can we get t-shirts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gay the pray
Yes.
away.
Gay the pray away.
Because
Yes.
they showed earlier, actually I had this thought, it's happened earlier, when he was being inaugurated and he had his hand on the Bible,
Yeah.
and you go to court and you testify, so they know you're telling the truth, you have to put your hand on the Bible. But actually, I've seen in some places, I don't know if this is in America, but if you don't believe in the Bible,
Yeah.
you can then choose something else.
To swear on?
Yeah.
That's-
One dude, I don't know where this was, but I saw a picture of it. This dude swore on Captain America's shield because he didn't want to do Cap wrong. And if you gave me like a Spider-Man fucking Toys R Us web shooter,
Yeah.
a silly string, and I had to swear on that, man, you'd get all the truth out of it. You would get every single last. Or if you got Tobey Maguire's actual suit from, I'd be like,
just the mask.
I'd be like, fuck, man, you guys are gonna know everything. You can't. If you ask me a question, I'm gonna have to answer it. The closest thing I'll be able to do to lie is be like, man, I really don't want to answer that right now. Is it okay if I don't? And if the judge makes me, you're gonna find out I peed myself in kindergarten during nap time because I had to go pee and I wouldn't go to the bathroom because I had my hand raised, and that's the rule. And the teacher didn't see my hand, so I just hand up, piss out. All right, you know that
Like
about
a
me now.
Migos song.
Hand up, piss out. I peed myself in kindergarten because I like to follow the rules and didn't want to upset the teacher. There were kids whispering to me, hey man, just go. You have to pee, just go to the bathroom. No, man, hand raised. He said yes, anybody get in trouble.
That happened to a kid the 1 year of school that I went to. It was very sad. And my mom was like, you never fucking listen to people. If you pee, you go pee.
I wish I had your mom.
Well, pluses, minuses.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Just in that exact instance. Just in that.
One moment.
I just wish I didn't pee myself. when I
Yeah,
was
those
in
were the 2 things she
kindergarten.
was like super hard on for the 2 years that I went to a real school. The 2 things she was super hard on was if you need to pee, you just fucking go to the goddamn bathroom. And if anybody looks at you weird, you fuck them up.
Man, I wish my parents told me to fuck people up more. My dad was very explicit on me not fucking people up. And I wanted to fuck some people up. He was like, you can't fuck people up. I'm like, Dad, but I really want to. He's like, no, you can't. Because you're a black man in this country. And that means something. That means if you fuck them up, they're going to hate black people. It'll be your fault. I was like, I'm 6. I just mad he took my toy, man. If my boy Jeff here
Yeah.
is telling the truth, He's a good man. But he's also kind of sidestepping the question there. A little bit.
Yeah.
And you got to look at that. He learned that.
Yeah.
Guess where he learned that shit from?
Well, that's even what I said, like, at the beginning of this whole thing is, like, these are all things that are happening. I'm not trying to be the person that denies anything.
Yeah.
But
because they talk to motherfuckers like this who are in the group and they ask them, is this the thing? And they go, well, yeah, but it's not a thing. Like, it's not a thing. So it's like, wow, so it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always question somebody who gets this much screen time for talking about something that's going on. Just like,
I mean, it's kind of his show. It's
yes.
kind of his show.
Yeah, and maybe screen time was the wrong term to use.
Okay.
I guess no, here's what it is. I question anything this extreme, like as far as like literally the entire government being run by this group. I question something that extreme coming out this subtly. That's what it is.
Right.
Like, it's just like, oh, it's
been
here
a
now.
slow bleeding pig for
Yeah.
the past 10 years or so. And he's had 2 books come out, and now we only, like, this is only happening because of the TV show.
Right.
Like, motherfucker, we weren't reading this long with the Bible.
Yeah.
Like,
no
idea it was a book.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like, when did you find out the Amazon forest was on fire? Was it 16 days after the fact?
It was yesterday.
That's when I found out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2 days ago. So, like, maybe yesterday? I don't know. Days were all the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, and I was researching today why it was. It's not global warming, it's deforestation. And I thought it was a climate change thing. And it might be a bit of it. You know, July
certainly
was the
not
hottest
helping
month on record of all time.
Yeah.
And I tried to argue with someone at my bar about it. And they're like, yeah, well, winter's always getting colder too. And I was like, yeah, that's bad. You know how humans thrive best at like the 65-degree area? Whenever we get further away from that,
that's bad.
That's not a good thing. How do people just have that life where they're like, oh, I'm going to go just travel with these people?
Yeah.
I can't. I get stressed out when I'm on the road for 2 days. I got to get back home and make some money, man. So he's condemning the family, but he's a part of the family. Tell me he doesn't look exactly like Denzel, though.
I think exactly is extreme.
Like if Denzel got fat and grew a beard, dude. That's...
Yeah.
Watch American Gangster and then come back to me.
That's fair.
Because that's 3 hours of Denzel's face.
That's fair. I don't remember the last time I watched a movie with Denzel that wasn't the demon one, Fallen.
See? Like, he's in one corner saying he doesn't trust the family, he doesn't trust all these old white dudes with all this power, he doesn't trust them, and they have one conversation. And then all of a sudden, boom, God changed my heart. And you're not like Jesus because Jesus loved everybody and Jesus loved those in power and you don't love us and you think we're the evil ones and that we're in power because we're evil or we're evil because we're in power and you're just wrong. Or you think that us being old and white and rich makes us wrong, but you're not because Jesus would love us. And that is also, man, like I get I haven't read the Bible, but from the shit I know about Jesus is that he hated those in power.
Yeah.
He was very much against them, man.
Yeah.
Like I wish that you could look at Jesus as just a story, as just a good story without making it your entire religious
Christian
belief.
mythology is the same as Greek mythology.
It's just a good story, man.
Yeah. It's not even a good story, but yeah.
Well, no, because again,
Poorly written.
I'm talking about really when I say Jesus, I mean Jesus Christ Superstar. That's really what I mean. Because, dude, like that, like there is a lot of secular, religious media, that I think is more religious than any religious text or movie or propaganda or a book or whatever. At all. And I think Jesus Christ Superstar and The Prince of Egypt are both better at what religion is supposed to be versus what it is, right? Because it's supposed to be this plain thing. The way I think we were both raised in it is just like, dude, just don't be an asshole. Like that was Jesus's. That was his whole.
Oh no, that was
message.
Jesus' message, 100%.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was just like, dude, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like you can look at every single word he said and then have a new house of God based off of that, a new different a branch of Christianity. But really, just don't be a dick.
Right.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
That's the rule. When I did Rocky Horror Picture Show, like whenever I forgot the rules that I'd have to address up top.
Yeah.
That would be the rule. Is if I was just like, oh man, what's this rule? I forgot. It's just don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Don't be that fucking guy that ruins it for everybody else. If you're about to do something and you have this weird feeling in the back of your spine that's like, oh, I think I'm about to be that guy.
Just don't
be that guy. We had a guy come up once. We had the whole virgin ceremony thing where you come up and I make you do something weird and then you sit down and then you're done. You just get to watch the movie. This one dude came up, ran the stage, jumped up on one of our tables and mooned the crowd.
Yeah.
He's being that guy.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
Don't.
And like Jesus Christ Superstar is a great movie with a great soundtrack. And it's a good story. Right? Dude just not being a dick, minding his own business. Government comes in and fucks with him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, dude, I just want to do my shit. And they're like, you're evil. And he's like, dude, I just want to do my shit. Can I just, all right, fine, I'm evil, whatever. And then they kill him. And the songs are dope.
Yep.
And then these guys just fuck it all up because they want money and power and to fuck children. Because every single one of these guys who's in the fellowship has fucked an underage kid.
Every one of them?
Or they know someone who did.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's covering for them.
Yeah.
Oh, here's your guy. Here's your guy coming up. Where is he?
He's the only fashionable one, too. That's the most upsetting part. He looks fucking good.
He looks so good. He looks so cool, but it's such a formal meeting.
I think that's what makes me the most upset. Is like, you had your chance to be this gleaming spire of fucking fashion choice, but no, you're just a fucking dumb cunt that hangs your fucking feet off the goddamn arm of the fucking couch in a business meeting and rubs it into somebody's fucking eyes.
And you saw earlier when he was sitting down, he had his legs out.
Oh, he was just out.
And right at the end of
wore his shoes. Yes, I saw. Can't unsee.
Oh shit. Yep.
They broke Trump too, though.
What do you mean?
Oh, the first one was like, let's be sad for Arnold because he... And then the 66th prayer breakfast, Trump's up there. We're mourning Doug Coe. This is a beautiful tradition that we've had in our country. We're very happy and blessed to have his wife here, and there's 2 of their sons. Thank you for being here. Yeah. And he's still doing the Donald Trump thing of motioning to look at how many dicks I could suck.
Yeah,
but they broke him too.
They put his ass in line.
Yep.
His ass is getting more and more in line in the worst way possible.
Yep.
Like at first he's like, oh man, I'll go to North Korea and kick his ass. And then he comes back and he's like, actually, he was a really nice guy. He was just a really sweet, sweet guy.
To be fair, he did recently compare himself to God.
He did?
So, you can't...
Get rid of
You can't fix stupid.
Get rid of all of this. I hate seeing these people talk about Jesus Christ of Nazareth like it's something good. And it sucks, man. It's not. Look at all these awful people.
I know.
Hot ass Maria Butina not bothering nobody, doing nothing wrong. Just shooting guns, trying to be a fucking scapegoat for the Russian and U.S. government. Look at Trump wanting to fuck his daughter.
He ain't do nothing wrong.
He's doing a lot wrong.
He's done a lot.
So is Maria Butina.
Yeah.
I just think she's vaguely attractive.
I know.
Because she's in context. Just because you put her next to all these sagging old men, and then I get to see Maria Butina, who's a 4 on a good day.
Damn, she went down. She was a 5 on a good day last week.
I know. No, she's still a 5 on a good day. 5s and 4s not that much.
4 standard, 5 on a good day.
Yes, we'll go with that. 4 standard, 5 on a good day. I hate this motherfucker. I wish I knew his name so I could go to Portland, Oregon and kick his fat old ass. Because he's just a fucking preacher. That's all he is.
No, he is.
He's a lying fucking preacher. I don't know, man. This is just...
He's one of those people that confuses me because he likes to present himself as this incredibly well-read, worldly person that can communicate with people of all different cultures and income ratios and all these different things. But he got fucked harder than anybody else because he was the smart one saying, wait a minute, there's all these rich people fucking me over. And then he got one fucking 12-year-old blowjob.
I don't know if he got a 12-year-old blowjob.
But do you know what I mean? Like, he got one thing that just made him shut his questions down. And now he's like, oh, well, like, you're right, I guess.
Yeah, I want to know, because that's, like, talking again about the vague word of what prayer is.
We should go interview this guy.
Oh, no, I would hate to do that. It would not be an interview. It would not. I would get so mad.
Well,
you would have to interview him.
I would do
And
it.
then he'd be like, why is no black people? I'd be like, hey, man, I'm actually the other half of the show. So a fourth of the show is black. And I'm not talking to you because I fucking hate you. So you and I can step outside and see what the fuck is up. All right?
I want to know.
We can settle this like gentlemen, or we can get into some gangster shit. What you want to do, Fat Denzel? Equalizer 250 pounds, motherfucker. Step. Fucking step, bitch. I'm sorry, Quinn. I didn't mean to interrupt your interview. I just really hate this guy.
I hate him too. But I want to know more about his shit.
Yeah, no, I'm interested because yeah, you're right. He had a lot of questions.
And he was asking the right
25 years ago.
Yeah.
He was like us.
Yeah.
And then he went on this world tour with his buddy to go figure out what the fuck is going on. And now he's the Portland leader.
Yeah.
Where Doug Coe's from.
Yeah.
He leads the group. What happened?
Yeah.
How much money did they give him?
Exactly. And you won't get those answers, but you can get some, and I want them.
And like I said earlier, with how they give no answers, but they give answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get something out of him.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get. So you should interview him, and I'll just.
It would actually be interesting to interview him and then bring it back here and show you the interview and record you responding to the interview.
Oh my God, like in Tusk.
Yeah.
You ever see Tusk?
Oh, yeah.
The Nazi Party.
Yeah.
Which was a great name for a podcast. Not today, but back in like 2013, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That movie traumatized me.
It was aggressive.
It was aggressive. Actually, that sounds like a great idea, and very much in the context of what we do on our show. Already.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of him. I bet I could.
Did they give his name at all?
No, but I bet I could find. He leads the Portland. I can find Portland's men group. You know what I
just
mean?
Go to fucking Portland.
Yeah.
We work with people from Portland, and I'm sure you could just stay at like their friends or mom's houses.
Portland's a pretty awesome place. Like, it would be cool to have you go out there. Like, we could do a show or something.
I want to go to Portland. Portland. Give it to our Patreon so we can come do a show there and talk to this fucking Fat Denzel motherfucker.
I'd be totally down to go out there and just see if I could talk to him. Like, I mean, like, get a hold of him and go out there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd be very much a fan of that.
That's their go-to. Like, that speaks a lot to the special needs of the people of the Ivanwald house, that they were like, jumping in leaves off a truck is so awesome. Not only do we need to do it as our main activity, but we need to film it.
Yeah. Or them playing basketball or and then playing football. And look, man, we're just into American traditionalism. That's all.
And, like, don't get me wrong, like, when I first discovered little handheld camcorders, I made stupid videos too when I was 13.
Oh, not when you were 22?
Correct.
Hanging out with a bunch of other men?
Yes.
Yeah. Man, this is just a cult. It's just
a straight up cult.
Extremely successful cult. That's all it is. It's just a really profitable cult. They do the exact same things that cults do. It's a fucking cookie cutter, but instead of this, they run a lot of the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think I mean, since I started doing the show, my view of religion in general is slowly becoming different.
Sure.
And it's affected my sleep schedule. I'll say that much. I'm a different person now. It feels weird. I smoke weed for different reasons now. Drinking a bit more now these days. Just figuring out who I really am and what it means to have faith and believe in anything.
Yeah.
Trying to find a new system of faith because it's weird. Trying to study comedy more, find that as my faith. But I forget what I was saying.
You were saying that you had a different worldview before you started doing the show.
Yes. And that when I look at stuff like this, like reading the Bible's all fun and that's like a good time and we laugh about it.
Yeah.
But then watching shit like this, I can't be a Christian anymore because it does shit like this. Like, yeah, that's not what Christianity is supposed to be, but like you said, man, this is what it's done.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't any sort of cult that hurts people like this, I just don't want to be privy to it. I don't want to be like Fat Denzel.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I have questions and then I just kind of accept it, and because it's easier to accept it than to question anything anymore and
No, totally. And I think
be my own person and try to figure things out for myself, even if I'm wrong, even if it hurts, and even if it takes more time to figure out what it means to be me is more important than just looking at this thing and going, oh, well, this kind of makes sense in parts of it, so I'm going to just do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the whole point of what I was doing and now what you're doing, because you're involved in this whole thing. But just like the idea of saying there has to be more to a worldview than, this sounds okay.
Yeah. The world is so much more magical than that.
Yeah.
And just to, because then, like, if you're a Christian, like what we've been doing this whole fucking time is you read a section of the book and you go, hey, man, this is a part of our belief system, right? Yeah, this is our book. This is like our instruction manual.
Yeah.
All right, on page 50, it says that this is okay, that this thing is okay, but I don't like this thing. Well, you can either ignore that
take
or
that
not.
or leave that. It's not.
Like, no, man, like, you don't need a book. It's easier to have a book because you can touch it.
It's written down. It's there. It's solid.
Yeah, but it's in black and white. It's just, thou shalt not do this. Okay, cool. That's the rule. I'm not going to eat any meat from a hip bone, and I'm not going to question.
Not going to talk about why.
Think about why I should or can't do that.
There's not
gloss over it.
Any real. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah.
Which is, you got to think.
You do.
You got to think, and you got to use your own brain.
We need to talk about this. They said the thing in the thing.
They said that thing in the thing.
But yeah, no, I mean
that's a free app. So that's all it does.
I mean, that makes sense to me. If it did more for free, I'd be confused.
I mean, it can do other sounds too.
But that's not what matters.
It does the sad trombone sound. That's a lot of fun.
No.
Yeah. It's oh man, it's a hacky comic's dream of just being like, you know, I was talking to my boss about getting a raise, you know, and you know what he told me? You can raise up out of here. It's like a rubber chicken.
That was a very bad joke.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but it's, you know, I'd
hesitate to even call it a joke. I know. You were intentionally making a bad joke, so that's fine. I was actually complimenting you on the lack of quality you were able to pull out of your ass.
I'm single.
Oh, God.
Imagine that, but like in the bedroom.
Every time you come, just...
Oh my God, babe. I'm gonna...
No, not again. No. I don't even want...
Man, this is gonna...
Go get a towel.
I'm spiking the shit out of this mic right now. It's gonna be a bitch edit.
Not really. I'm just gonna put a compressor on it and cross my fingers.
Sorry if that's aggressive for you with earphones on, but oh my God. So we're done.
We're done. We did it.
It's over. I hate Fat Denzel.
I want to say one more thing, and this is like an actual serious thing.
Yeah.
I feel like, justifiably so, I come across very extreme.
I don't Since when have you ever done that?
In my viewpoints, I don't take back any of the stuff I said.
Good. You said it.
And as hard as this is to believe, I'm not trying to attack a specific person or like make people feel bad or attacked because of the thing I think about a Magic Skyman. Because you can always make the argument that I'm just not talking about the God that you believe in.
Mm-hmm. That's the easiest way to you know.
But the reason that I am as aggressive and angry about this stuff as I am, and the reason that I think this show is important, is because when there are as many question marks as there are in something like the Christian religion, bad people can fill them in with their own answers and make negative things happen. I'm not against the idea of a creator existing and loving you.
Yeah.
But the idea of faith is an issue for me because it gives so many evil people so much free reign to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And I see a lot more negative than I see positive from that.
Mm-hmm.
And this show has just kind of reaffirmed that viewpoint of just, you can take something that could theoretically be decent and make it really not good.
And I think me being the kind of person who never read the Bible but grew up religious, like a lot of blind spots, like that, just that lifestyle. And I think a lot of people who believe in God, like I thought I did, but until I realized slowly, even before I started doing this show or things outside of doing this show, where just didn't really think about it like that. Side note, that kid's digging a really big hole, and that's fucking cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fucking
That's
great.
rad.
Okay, give you a clean cut. I just think that having all these blind spots in a religion that you think you believe in leaves you blind to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Leaves you blind to not only believe in those things, but I never even really thought about the fact that, the Bible has a lot of questions. And when people are searching for questions, the people who give answers aren't always giving the best answers. Or even when someone gives an answer and goes, I kind of don't know, I'm sorry, but they're supposed to know the answer.
Yeah.
That leaves the person still wanting to know the answer to the question.
Right.
And a lot of people, most people would rather be told the answer to the question than to figure out the answer for themselves.
100%.
And then, you have secret societies running governments and making shady deals that are very secretive, but also incredibly open.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's so obvious that the news doesn't report on it because of how concrete it isn't. At the same time, when you have congressmen and senators going to other countries at a very controversial point in time in their nation's history, or at the exact moment when this bill's going through, and the person idealistically supports the bill, but then they don't say they support the bill, so it's a non-story story. Where there's just,
this person went to a country and they were just kind of hanging out.
As a journalist, you just have to keep digging and digging and digging, and by the time you get all the answers, there's been 30,000 other stories happening and no one cares anymore, and you have to compile all this evidence. Like, I get if Charlotte is true, if Jeff Charlotte is telling the truth and everything he says is true, and he's not, even if not all of it, but if he did his best, he did his honest work that he believes in, and a lot of it is true. Then that's great. But it's also taken us, not us personally, but
us as a society,
too long to really just point this out and go, hey man, this is wrong. This is bad. And because I think part of it is like what you said. With, hey, if you're a Christian and you believe in God and you believe in Jesus Christ and you believe in the whole shebang, that specific story, then how come God let that happen? How come God let these people be in power? And then you have to question your own belief system. And as I'm slowly discovering, that's not a fun time to do. It's
not. It's much easier to just say that's the plan. It's much easier to just say,
oh my God, it's so easy.
It's
Oof. God's got a plan.
And the thing is that, like,
I don't know it yet because I'm not God and I'm not worthy to be God.
This is not this is not me shit talking. This is me just saying my personal viewpoint. I think that a lot of the attraction of a religion in general is that it's easy.
Yeah.
It takes away a lot of concern and a lot of questions if you know, like, oh, well, I'm going through these things that are good, these things that are bad. I'm not sure why the bad's happening, but I'm grateful for the good. It makes it really nice and easy to just be like, oh, well, that's all happening because this person that created the universe cares about you personally. And, you know, they wanted to make sure that you were strong enough to deal with the stuff that's going to come because hard things are a part of life and a fact of existence, but they wanted to reward you for the good stuff you did, so there's happy stuff in there too. That's so easy. Oh, cool. The good stuff's on purpose, but the bad stuff's on purpose. The bad stuff makes me better, but the good stuff is a reward. Cool. Love it.
It's simple.
It is.
And I think when we started the show, a lot of it in the beginning was just talking about how we don't need this book anymore.
Yeah.
Ugh, I wish that were true. I wish, because it's just so easy. It's too convenient.
Yeah.
It's too easy. And I think as a people, where we believed in the book before because we didn't have any other answers, really, and now we believe in the book still, I think because of how obsessed as a people we are with the idea of convenience, at least in America.
Yeah.
We are obsessed with convenience.
Yeah.
Like, I used to watch V for Vendetta a bunch when I was a kid, and I still do. It's one of my favorite movies. It's so fucking good.
It's great.
I think it's better than the book. I think the way they did it in the movie makes more sense than the book. But also, Alan Moore is a crazy wizard man, and he will disagree with that because there's not enough wizardry or whatever in it. I need more pewter rings in this movie, and then I'll enjoy it. But there was like the idea that V is giving his speech, and it's that people were afraid, so they gave up their freedom.
Yeah.
And I think today, people would give up their freedom for convenience.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you look at a book, you have questions, but you got a guy in a very fancy building or a very cozy building, whatever your church is, and he goes, hey, this is why it says that. This is why, you need knee surgery tomorrow because God has a plan for you. Or this is why, your child might have died of cancer because God has a plan for you, and that child is now in heaven, so you don't have to worry about them anymore. That is very comforting. Like, if I lost a kid to cancer, I might go super religious because holy fucking shit,
I can see that.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
And it's just so much easier to say, my kid's in fucking paradise.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to see him in X amount of years.
Yeah, and it's going to be the best time.
Yeah.
Like, honest to God, like that's Tears in Heaven. Yeah. The song Tears in Heaven.
Yeah. Only difference is you didn't kill your kid. Go on.
He didn't kill his kid. He was just negligent. I know.
Jim Jones.
Dude, that's different. That is completely different. Also, I don't know the whole story. So if Eric Clapton was on cocaine at the time, that's a bad look. But also, the whole story I know is that his kid just fell out of a balcony. He could have been taking a shit. Like, I don't know.
He was more negligent than that.
No, absolutely. Probably. His kid fell out of a fucking balcony.
That's what I'm saying.
But, like, then he writes a song, and you're going to tell me that song doesn't make you cry? And that,
no, it doesn't make me
cry. And that you don't... If you weren't Eric Clapton, like, yeah, man, I need to believe in heaven because my kid's dead. And... I don't know, man.
No, all joking aside, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do.
So,
I do.
I don't know. Like, it makes sense, but also not everyone is a father grieving over their lost family. So have your own independent thought. And, even if you are a father grieving over the loss of your family, go to therapy, talk to someone about it. Like, really take time for yourself. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's all we got anyway. Like, all you have in this world is yourself.
Yeah.
That is it. So believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, and if you don't, then do everything you possibly can to do that. And don't believe in other people, or don't believe everything other people say.
Yeah.
And really try to do your best.
Yeah.
Go hug a dog. Look at the sky.
Enjoy some grass.
Read any other book.
We'll be back next week.
Go get a coloring book.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yeah, just have an enjoyable time.
Get off your phone.
Yeah.
Kiss a man that you love on the mouth. Gaily. Gay the prey away. Get it
Gay
right
the
out
prey
of there.
away.
Get it right out of there.
Yeah.
Shit. Brokeback Mountain away.
You know something I learned about Brokeback Mountain recently that made me super happy?
What's that?
Heath Ledger was super serious about it, like not in a joking way. And like when people on set would like try to make jokes, he's just like, no, this is a serious story. We're not going to fuck around.
That's great.
Yeah. Made me
Oh my
super happy.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I just wanted to end on a happy note. Like that's just a cool thing.
Exactly. No, that's... I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I know that now.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger, man.
So good.
So good.
Knight's Tale was awesome.
Knight's Tale's great.
It was so good.
Oh, my God. 10 Things I Hate About You.
It was fantastic,
Come
yeah.
on.
You really...
It's so good.
It was great.
Yeah. That was